Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the David Starlyte Show. I'm on every single week at the same place, YouTube and Facebook. We go live and we welcome all questions, psychically related, spiritually related, life related. So we do readings, forecasts, intuitive feedback, and meditation. I discuss Dharma, spiritual topics, and the like. So everyone, always welcome. And during this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me to earn money. My background is traveling the globe, working at different retreats, different wellness retreats, resorts, spas, conducting workshops, and doing one-on-one healing, as well as group meditation classes and qigong. I don't know if any of you have practiced the art of qigong. It's very serene, and I had the opportunity to study with different masters in Australia, China, and Thailand, and beautiful masters like Master Chen in China. Very unique experience. Marianne says, good morning. It's beautiful weather over here. I think it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. It's perfect. It was cool overnight, and I had the dogs visit me. I didn't sleep so well because it's like they're moving around and they kind of wake me up, and then but it was nice to have them, and they were very sweet, very, very warm, and I couldn't cover myself with the duvet because the dog was sitting on it. He's quite heavy, so I couldn't move it, so I got a bit cold, but the other one was kind of lying next to me, so I was getting quite a lot of warmth from her. So how is it over there, Marianne? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think it's afternoon for you, so how are you? So I was talking a little bit about my background. I was talking about the art of qigong, and just reminiscing about the past, about Master Chen, about various experiences I had. I've actually been to, six martial arts schools I've studied at. So one master in Australia was really Master Alex, really fantastic. So what happened in China is they had this a lot of persecution of the ancient mystics, the masters, and so a lot of people went all over the world. So you'll get in America, for instance, really extraordinary masters from China. You get Canada, Australia, kind of a lot of the Western countries. You really do have these amazing martial artists who had to leave China. I remember meeting one in Perth, and there was a band organization that had millions, and I think had 100 million following, something extraordinary in China. Was it something with a faux or Folan? Anyways, they were persecuted in China, and I remember meeting one in Perth who followed this. It's very peaceful, so it's just hard to imagine that someone would be persecuted who's doing these soft, gentle movements and meditating and serene in the park, out in nature every day, just gently moving their bodies. But in China, they were persecuted, and he did not met this man in the park doing this practice, and he didn't. Falun Gong, thank you, Marianne. Thank you so much. How do you know about that? That is wonderful. Falun Gong. Yeah, I had something there in my mind with the F and the... Yeah, thank you, Falun Gong. So this man from Falun Gong, he did not speak a single word of English, like nothing. And I asked through another Chinese man, like a friend or interpreter, how long has he been in Australia for? And it was like 25 years or something like that. And it was, we take so much for granted, and there's people who can be living in, English speaking countries are not speaking English. My abilities aren't the best, so I can relate. For some people, it can be very, very difficult, almost impossible to learn new languages. I don't think impossible, but for some people it is. But for me, would take a lot of effort to learn, to really become familiar with another language. It would take me really a lot of effort. So I'm fortunate that I grew up with English, and so I can just, generally speaking, survive on English alone. So Marianne says over 100 degrees all day. I'm melted. Well, super hot. How are you staying cool, Marianne? Do you have fans? Do you have aircon? Do you go have a shower a lot? Do you have a swimming pool? What do you do to keep cool? And Marianne says, I live in an Asian neighborhood. How interesting. So we'll have a lot to discuss, Marianne, about cultural experiences. And, a lot of people in these neighborhoods have really brought their culture to America. So some of them are still really acting or behaving like culturally, food-wise, things like that, similar to how they were in Asia. So they've sort of transplanted their culture. I find it fascinating, and I've worked in a lot of Asian countries, so I'm really interested in it. Marianne says beverages and fans. So no aircon, Marianne, because that is hot. It does usually cool down a bit during the night, I imagine, but challenging, very challenging to be in the heat. So how has the week gone? How are we feeling? Has the energy calmed down a little bit? I've been getting a bit more rest. I'm just dropping things around here. I've been getting a little bit more rest, although last night the animals were keeping me up a bit, so maybe not. And just generally, I guess just ambling along. I wouldn't say I've been incredibly focused, because I really haven't been, but I needed a bit of a sort of in between phase. I'm thinking to do some more Buddhist mindfulness study. So that's on the agenda. I haven't had a lot of new clients recently. The energy maybe is shifting for me. Not really sure. Let's see how it goes. One of my ideas, or one of my visions for myself, is retreats, really mystical retreats, perhaps soul retreats, soul journeys, and helping to activate that, to manage that, to coordinate that, and facilitate these kind of activation retreats. So that's where I'm sort of thinking about, or that's where I'm being called to, or that's where I'm headed at the moment, in that orientation, that direction. I'm open to possibility, though, so I'm not overly stuck on a particular direction. Marianne says the electric call to conserve, but August tasks need to get done. Yeah, and it's hard to do work depending on the work. If it's hot, it's really challenging for me. I've just had these new fans installed, so I'm really enjoying the fans. That's been improving my lifestyle, quality of life. And I also have the air conditioning units, so that's that's helpful. There's one in my room, so it's only one in my room. But downstairs, it does get pretty humid out here. So what I do is have a lot of shower time, which helps to clean and purify me, clear the energy, and that that's so important, particularly doing any sort of healing work, that you able to clear and purify your your own energy. So it's very quiet right now. Please do like and share the show. That always helps us a lot. I'm curious if you're anchoring in anything new. I have heard that this time it's almost like things are being broken apart. You can imagine, a farmer going to a field and clearing the field. And we are planting new seeds. We are planting new seeds. And it's like anchoring in new energies into the world. So you may hear whispers from the silence. You may hear something very quiet, a quiet tap on your soul, by your soul, on the door of your soul, quiet tap by your soul on the door of your consciousness. That makes more sense. A quiet tap from your soul on the door of your consciousness. Whispers from the dark, whispers from the unconscious, from the silence. And that's a call for you to plant seeds, to start to direct yourself into something new, something shifting, something involving a new path. And Marianne says, I want a better birthday than last year. When's your birthday, Marianne? August. It's August, isn't it? And that is exciting, a birthday. And what happened last year, Marianne? What happened last year? I'm curious. Just whatever you're comfortable to share. And Vlad says, how are you doing? I'm okay, Vlad. I had the dogs with me last night, and they kept me up a bit. They sort of woke me up a few times. But I'm doing okay. It looks like a nice day over here. How are you, Vlad? How are you? We were just talking about almost tapping into the silence. Listening to the silence, receiving the wisdom, receiving the Dharma. I like this word, Dharma. And coming into our soul's calling, following our soul's calling, awakening our consciousness by hearing the fingerprints of the soul, the silent knock on the door of your consciousness, and invoking these energies. So mantras, invocations, to bring this clarity and alignment into your life, to bring the almost making the silence into a scripture. And I always encourage everyone to let love be their language. Focus on the love. There's a lot of destructiveness and propaganda out in the world, and I would say just division, and come back to the center. Don't focus on the fear. Don't focus on the the toxicity. I see that a lot in politics, and often you see this, the one side is saying, I would say, poison about the other side. And there's not like there's not truth in it. Often there is some truth in it, but sometimes it's just exaggeration, or I know in Australia, just plain lies. It's just like throwing out lies, and then people don't want to listen to the other side. So be careful of that kind of energy of really shutting another viewpoint down and dismissing that, because there's wisdom in all viewpoints, and we can find that wisdom, that middle ground, and really come back to love of opposition, love of your enemy, even though you may not agree with their ideas, their opinions. But come back to a sense of equilibrium, of inner peace. So Marianne says she's looking for mediation course for October. That's very exciting, Marianne. Tell me more. Maybe we can co-create. You can come on the show. Marianne says September the 4th, lots of problems with unfinished August business, money issue as a result, communication issues with those activities. September. So your birthday is September the 4th. All right, so that's just over a month, Marianne. So shifting this energy forward, and sounds like you have a lot going on in August. And August is coming. August is coming soon. Normally, I have Labor Day conflict with party timing. Let's see, is Labor Day usually September the 4th? So I think mediumship is going to be great for you, Marianne. Let's pick a card about mediumship for Marianne. See what comes through for you, Marianne. All right, so the card that is coming out for you, Marianne, is like, it's like you've done this before. It's like you've got this. The memories are coming. Memories are coming to you. Those almost like soul memories and gifts are coming. They're coming back. You're remembering them. It's not. You're not learning something new. You're learning something that you already know. And it's almost like you've done this before. This is coming back home. It's repeating things that your soul already knows. So really focus on remembering remembering the wisdom from your soul. Remember the gifts from the past. Remember you're divinely guided, and you're part of bringing in the new age. The new age. Sorry, this year on a Thursday, first Monday of the month in the USA. So we're talking about Labor Day, I presume. This year it's on a Thursday, first Monday of the month in the USA. So your birthday is on a Thursday and Labor Day is on Monday. All right, I think I've got it, Marianne. Your birthday is on a Thursday. That's a good day to have a birthday. Beautiful. All right, so Marianne, the good energy is coming forward, and it's shifting you forward and getting back into almost remembering the unknown, remembering that which is unknown, making the unfamiliar familiar, but it's making the almost like that's already familiar to you. It's like you're walking in a path that's you already know. You're coming into your soul's calling, or you're coming home to your soul gifts. So this is a wonderful time, Marianne, and I wish you all the best. That's great. Birthday, September the 4th, birthday. Beautiful. So how is cancel? I just hit something, sorry. Let's see, we're still online. So where are you, Vlad? How are you, Vlad? How is everything going with you, Vlad? And please do like and share the show. It seems like it's a very quiet one today. And sometimes it's so quiet, and then like right at the end, all these people just come online and want readings. That's okay. We can take a little breather. And often when I see things get really quiet in the comments section, I'm like, all right, we can meditate. That's a gift, and that's the door opening for us to come back home to our own souls. And Vlad says his Facebook was a bit glitchy. All right, so maybe there's some technology issues happening at the moment to make it very quiet, but we will just do a little meditation. Marianne got a little bit quiet as well, so lots of people quiet. Vlad says, "Hope all is well." Yeah, it's going okay, Vlad. Thank you. I was talking earlier a little bit about some ideas I'm having, and also studying a little bit more. It's going to be so. I actually enrolled, but I still have a couple of weeks if I want to withdraw. So I still have a little window available if I do want to withdraw. Just because it's like more study, but I do enjoy it. So there's some pros and cons for me. All right, so we'll do a little bit of meditation. Feel free to join in, and as always, our bodies as we try to align our mind and consciousness. So physically try to be kind of in balance, and a lot of us are sort of a little bit over to the side. So we try and at least get into balance, feet connected to the ground. That always helps. And relaxing all around your face, your eyes, I'm touching the ears, the nose, but people often have all this tension around their jaw, and people have tension around their ears. Sometimes, I know with me, straining to hear, I spend a lot of time straining to hear people. So you get all this tension that is sort of unseen, that you just often not aware of, but tension around the ears, tension around the jaw, very, very common. TMJ, I see so many people with TMJ, people who lock their teeth during the night while they're sleeping. Then we get a lot of tension around the eyes. People are watching too many things, spending too much time on screens, straining their eyes. So there's a lot of areas of tension just in the face. So just with your awareness, with your intention, calming your facial muscles. And if you would like to join us in meditation, then closing your eyes if it's safe to do so. Focusing your attention on alignment, aligning your body. And as I said, when we align our body, we align our mind. Back up straight, good posture also helps this alignment process or alignment practice. And gently coming into awareness of your breathing, just being aware, just watching, just noticing, just observing. And as we breathe, we imagine a world of silence around us. There's a Buddhist concept called sunyata, and it's translated in different ways as the void, as silence, as emptiness, as depth. There are different understandings of this depth, of this ether, the space around us. We often tend to think of it as cluttered, as filled with, if we live in a city with human developments, human noise, human activity. But if we look past that, and quantum physics acknowledges this, the science of today acknowledges this, we see more and more emptiness. We realize that things that seem solid are really not that solid at all. The idea of something solid is an illusion. And beyond that, if we look deeper, if we look closer, under microscope, or there's spaciousness, there's possibility. You can imagine the space around you as a fertile void, a fertile void. And when you breathe, you are breathing in this openness, this possibility. And we can plant the seeds in our consciousness of the life that we would like to be living. If we would like to change something in our life, if we would like to change something in the world, it starts with an intention. We plant a seed of intention, how we would like things to be. Remembering that this concept of sunyata, or void, means that nothing is fixed. Not even our success or our failure. They're just conditions that arise and fall, that constantly change into impermanence. Everything is always changing. So while we are here dancing with our consciousness, dancing in consciousness, why not explore these possibilities of creativity, of creation, of creating from the fertile void, planting a seed of creation, how you would like to be, and then breathing it in into your mind from your imagination, or from your mind into your imagination. It doesn't matter. Just breathe it in. Your soul remembers, your soul knows. And the invitation is, as always, Satnam, to breathe in love, knowingness, and bliss. Love, knowingness, and bliss. The qualities of our soul. Just enjoying breathing that in. Just enjoying being with the truth of your soul, the truth of who you are, and the truth of the world around you. And I invite you perhaps to come out of your meditation, if that's appropriate. Stretch your body as we have stretched our mind. And always helps to give yourself a little massage, just massaging your face, the back of your head, your neck. Taking a deep breath in and coming back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for participating. All right, so Wonder Reincarnation, I had it first. The gift shocked me in May 2002. I was walking towards ground zero. Some of the remaining souls came to me the closer I got. So that is a real gift, to be able to see into the unknown, and it is a gift. I have a friend who has this as well, and people recently had an experience where somebody came to him 2 weeks before they physically died. So it's not always so clear how the timelines work. So I was trying to work it out. As in, the soul came to him. He saw the spirit of a person. So our spirit can leave our bodies. It's not necessarily stuck to our bodies. It can leave our bodies and wander. So this spirit went along and visited him, and he spoke to the spirit. And then 2 weeks later, the human being actually died. So it's these things are real, and people have these gifts to be able to connect in that way. So Marianne, you have that gift, and that was a really difficult time for many people. A lot of souls left very, very quickly. On that particular day, a lot of souls just left very, very quickly. But what was left behind was also really difficult for everyone who survived. A lot of trauma, not just individual trauma, but collective trauma, Marianne. So you were also helping to heal that, helping to bring peace to those souls. So very beautiful, Marianne. And I wish you a lot of happiness and success in that path. And we think about success, what is success? There's an unknown quantity to success, because what does it mean? It's very relative. It's very kind of based on a perspective. For some people, if you have this particular car, well, that's success. But it's a little bit, it's sort of tangible and intangible, and really based on your own individual definition. What is success for some people. I remember not being able to walk, and then just learning to walk. That is success, learning to walk. So wherever we're coming from, there's little successes. So remember that. Remember, maybe could be small to other people, but for you, that is important to celebrate your success. My cousin Joe went to help the dead that day to get to heaven. Wow, Marianne. So you really have a close connection, and Joe was able to help people. And was he quite traumatized, your cousin Joe? Because a lot of people were very traumatized on that in that event. And how was that for you, Marianne, to have that experience? And I'm enjoying my tea here. And as I do so, I'm going to pick a card for the day ahead. All right. And it's interesting because this card is related to what I was talking about in the meditation. So perhaps this is a topic that is important for us. And the card, it says the void. The card says the void. So it says sometimes there is something way beyond what we see on the surface. And that beyond what we see on the surface is all life and so-called death, the illusion of death, all of life, where everything begins and ends, where everything exists and nothing exists. So there's this duality, but also this non-duality. It's almost winter and summer, and they exist at the same time. And in the womb, you can imagine there is a kind of darkness, and that's where we come from. We all come from the womb, and the womb it's dark, but this darkness is fertile. The same with planting seeds and that grow and originate in the soil. the darkness is nurturing. It's a strange thought, in fact, because there's something comforting in the dark, but for another, other people find the dark intimidating. They find it overwhelming. They find it daunting, perhaps. So we need to have that, develop the faith and trust that in the darkness is where things are growing. So even when your life is in that darkness, things are growing. That's when often our worst times are when we have the greatest breakthroughs. So we're the most stuck or feeling the worst, that's when we are growing the most. And that's where faith is really important. Trusting that everything will be overcome. So the message of the card is to trust that everything will be overcome, that we can surrender to what I was talking about, the emptiness, the sunyata, void, the nothingness. We can surrender to all of that, know that everything that exists is here and now, and allow that fertile darkness of nothing to nourish your soul and allow you to plant new seeds that can grow within the fertile void, within the fertile soil. And don't worry about the result. Don't be result oriented or result focused. These issues of the soul are not all about a tangible result. It can be something intangible. So there's a mysterious and alchemical path involved in this card that sometimes we need to know that the future is a mystery, and we need to rest and nurture ourselves and let quiet times nurture our bodies and minds, and know that also we don't have control over everything. We need to give over control, surrender that idea of control, and trust that everything is happening for a reason, and it is all meaningful. And the greatest weavings happen when we find this way to surrender, to trust, to allow. There's things that are known and knowable, but beneath the surface there is the void. And that's when sometimes we just need to rest, or we need to trust and have faith that everything will be revealed to us in time. So this card can also imply that there is the end of a phase, the end of a chapter. We're coming to the end of something, and we're being called to let go of everything that we identify with, everything that we think we know, and move on to the state of unknowingness, the state of being in the unknown. And for a lot of us, I think for everyone, there is some fear, there is some attempt to try and hold on to our control, hold on to this idea of knowing. We want to know, but actually the most productive thing to do is to let go, is to relinquish control, surrender to the mystery, surrender to the ever-changing mystery of life. So invocation: how am I being called to surrender to the unknown of my life? How am I being called to surrender to the unknown of my life? So I'm just catching up with your message, Marianne. My cousin Joe went to help the dead that day to get to heaven. He was already an angel. Lots of stuff opened up, especially dream prophecy. So for you, this was a real activation, and your cousin Joe was able to help. Remember Daniel Pearl? I knew when he was killed. Wow. Yeah, I remember the journalist Daniel Pearl. I remember. Was that Afghanistan? I can't remember. The Taliban or something. It was really horrendous and brutal, and very sad. Very, very sad. But your cousin Joe, when did he pass away, Marianne? He was already an angel. Lots of stuff opened up, especially dream prophecy. So an extraordinary time for you, Marianne. And sometimes the negative can really harness or push things forward, or the so-called negative. We see something and we think that's a terrible thing, but there is a sort of silver lining in the cloud. There's something to learn, something to be revealed, something to be grown from that. So a seed is planted in sometimes seeds are planted in tragedy. Welcome, Carlos. It's been a very quiet show. And so thank you for liking and sharing. Everything is well here. It's a lovely day. And how are you, Carlos? Marianne says, yep. Marianne. Marianne, that's quite cryptic. So how are you, Carlos? How is it going over there? Is it also very hot? Marianne is very warm and trying to keep cool. All right, so because it's so quiet today, I think we're going to end the live stream, and wishing you a beautiful day, Carlos, and Marianne, a beautiful day. Thank you for being on the show, Marianne, and sharing so much, because you really added a lot of dimension and substance, gave me lots to talk about. Extremely hot. How hot is extremely hot? Wow. How are you keeping cool, Carlos? Marianne says, I think the late 80s, job related. He was an Air Force pilot, not a crash. Health related from flying. Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the body, to be in this pressurized space. And also a lot of pilots, they travel a lot. They're not at home. I've met a few pilots. They're not at home at all. I met one he lost about 150 pounds or something. I met him at a health retreat where I was working, and he said that his life, he was just up in the air a lot, and then also he just sitting for hours, but the flight attendants would bring him, like, he always said to me, they would bring me 2 business class meals, and then they would bring me like coffee, lots of snacks. And because you kind of up in the air, you sort of want to keep eating, keep yourself awake, and then you're staying at these random hotels. And he said a lot of the demands and expectations are that you go out with certain people and have these huge dinners and drink, and so lifestyle can be very challenging, but also just being up in the air a lot is physically challenging. So Carlos, thank you for the reply. 90 degrees, pretty hot. Keep cool and enjoy the air conditioning, Carlos. So great you have some aircon. So thank you for sharing so much, Marianne. I'm going to end the show, and thank everyone for being here this week, and see you all next week, and wishing you all lots of love. Have a beautiful week and be the light. So thank you, everyone. Big love, big heart. How can I do this like that? Maybe, I don't know. Big heart, Stu says. Beautiful shirt. Thank you, Stu. Lots of hearts. I love that, Stu. Great way to end the show. And Carlos says, have a good week, Carlos. You too. Have a great week, Carlos, and stay cool. And lots of gratitude to Marianne for sharing a lot of material, sharing a lot of her experiences and her family's experiences on the show today. So thank you, Carlos. Have a beautiful week. Lots of love to you, Stu. Au revoir. See you next